Good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm and a hearty welcome from the team at Gradeup. Good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm and a hearty welcome from the team at Gradeup. So, friends, since you guys are preparing for CLAT 2021, let us first begin with the basic concept of legal reasoning. A very good afternoon to all of you. A very warm and a hearty welcome from the entire team at Gradeup. So, since you guys are all preparing for CLAT 2021, your aim is CLAT 2021. It is very important, since you have started beginning your preparation about a year back. We haven't had CLAT 2020 exam till now. It is scheduled to happen on the 22nd of August 2020. And since you guys are preparing for an exam which will happen probably in the month of May, which it generally does happen, May of 2021, you guys have a lot of time. Since you guys have a lot of time to prepare, to understand how to prepare for this entrance examination, it is important that you should know what are the basic essentials. What are the basic things that a person who is preparing for CLAT 2021 should have as a skill development? Because this, remember friends, we are in a very competitive world. It is a cutthroat competition. Now let me tell you friends, I also went to a law school. I graduated from a law school, so I understand the competitiveness of a law school. A law school, a lot of you dream about going into a law school. Yes, it's a very good place where you can spend 5 years of your precious life. You understand a lot. For that reason, to get into a law school, the door, there is an unlock for that door. And how do you unlock that door to enter into a law school? The unlock key is your CLAT examination. So CLAT examination opens the door for you to enter into a law university. I mean to say a national law university. Am I clear? Now, so let us today, since today is the first class on legal reasoning, let us not talk about law. Let us first understand what is expected out of you. Today, we are just going to understand what is expected out of you. And what is legal reasoning? How do you prepare for legal reasoning? Those are those important things that we must ponder upon. Because you have a year ahead to prepare for this entrance examination. But you should have a good understanding of how to go about this preparation process. Because unless and until you have a fair understanding of how do you prepare for this entrance examination, how will you prepare? So in today's class, we will just concentrate on the basic concept of legal reasoning for CLAT 2021. Now, before we start, up on your screen is the CLAT YouTube schedule of our Gradeup CLAT YouTube channel. And down below is a Gradeup exclusive free app series which is scheduled for CLAT aspirants. So I would request all of you to take a screenshot of the same so that you do not miss on any of the classes. And remember one thing, that those of you who are watching right now in YouTube, I would request all of you to download our Gradeup application in your Android mobile phone, because our app classes are much detailed in nature than the YouTube classes. Okay, a very, very important thing. Our app classes are much more detailed than our YouTube classes. Okay, so to attend all the classes in our free app, do download the Gradeup app on your Android phone and do not miss on any of these classes. So moving ahead, what is legal reasoning and what are you expected out of legal reasoning for students who are preparing for CLAT 2021? Now, the consortium or the consortium of National Law University has said very categorically, for students who are preparing for CLAT 2020 and 2021, that your legal reasoning section is aimed to evaluate a student insofar as his legal acumen is concerned. They are going to test your reasoning skills. Not too much of knowledge, but your reasoning and your analysis skills. So in your examination, you will be getting a passage of around 450 words. You will get a passage of 450 words. You have to read that passage very carefully. Understand what is said in that very passage. You have to understand what is given in the passage. You have to analyze those things that are given in the passage. And then you have to answer the questions. So right now, in olden days, in our times when we gave our entrance examination, legal reasoning would mean principles, facts, question and options. That is principle and fact based questions. But today, because a new pattern has been set for students, the kind of questions that you will be getting, mind you, will be passage based. And for this reason, and for which reason, you should have tremendous good reading and analysis skills. Good reasoning and analysis skills. Now, how do you analyze things? Now, today there are many topics, current events that are going. You have a Sabrimala issue. You have a global pandemic issue. You have a China, India and Ladakh issue. Impeachment of Donald Trump was an issue. So, understanding an article. So, you might get a passage on Donald Trump's impeachment issue of 450 words. You might also get an article, a passage on the Sabrimala judgment, on the Ayodhya land dispute, on the appointment of judges to the higher judiciary. So, any topic, CLAT has right now the freedom to ask you from any topic under the sky. We don't know. I don't know. You don't know. But if you can understand after reading a particular topic, you have to analyze what is given in those topics, in that passage rather, and then solve your question. Now, understanding the topic is the most important facet. You might get in a passage something which you do not agree to, which you do not agree with. But keep in your mind that when you are attempting a question, you should forget your own likes and dislikes. I might like the Sabrimala judgment, I might not like the Sabrimala judgment. But insofar as your CLAT exam is concerned, you have to read the passage that is given over there and solve. Do not apply your moral judgment on a particular topic. Very, very important. The Kashmir issue. Article 370 and 35A. The Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019. You might like it, you might not like it. You might say Citizenship Amendment Act is good. Someone might say Citizenship Act is bad. Doesn't matter. All you need to do is to understand the topic and analyze it. Now, one of the most important thing about CLAT examination, CLAT 2020, CLAT 2021, 2022, 2023, whichever year you say, it is not about just cracking that entrance examination. The sole motive for you should be to obtain high scores. Because only if you have high scores, only if you get high scores, you can reach the top 5 or the top 6 national law universities of the country. There are 22 national law schools in India as on today. There are 22, 23 national law schools, more than 20 national law schools in India. But your real game, the real aim of a CLAT aspirant is to crack the top 5 or top 7 law schools of the country. Now, what is legal reasoning? How do you prepare legal reasoning? Now, legal reasoning section is aimed at to check your legal reasoning skills and not your legal knowledge. They are not going to ask you very old or static knowledge. They are going to have questions. The questions that you will be facing will relate to recent events. They might relate to criminal law. They might relate to fundamental rights. They might relate to writ jurisdiction. They might relate to fundamental freedoms in Kashmir. They might relate to secularity, the secularism, the concept of secularism insofar as your Citizenship Amendment Act is concerned. So you need to have legal knowledge. No, I am not suggesting that without legal knowledge you can score. You should have legal knowledge, and that is what we at Gradeup in our courses are going to provide you. We will tell you what is fundamental right. What is right to life? What is right to equality? What is right to religion? What are the rights of minorities? What are the directive principles of state policy? What is the power of the Chief Justice of India? The powers of the Supreme Court, the powers of the High Court, the powers of the Election Commission. the powers of the Comptroller and Auditor General of India, how are judges appointed in the Supreme Court and the High Court. We will tell you everything. But the fact is this, you have to read the passage, and then with your prior knowledge, some amount of prior knowledge is required. For example, they might give you a passage on impeachment of Donald Trump. They might give you a passage on the impeachment of Donald Trump. And they might ask you a question like, has any judge in India ever been removed by a process of the parliament? Now, you must have some amount of legal knowledge also. I am not saying that you can crack this examination without legal knowledge. You will require legal knowledge, but your reasoning skills is to be tested primarily. They might give you a question on fundamental right, a passage on fundamental right. And they might ask you, who was the person who was the chairman of the drafting committee of the Constituent Assembly? They might give you a passage on fundamental right. And they might ask you a question, who drafted our Indian Constitution? Who was the chairman of the drafting committee to the Constituent Assembly? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So you are required to have some legal knowledge. Am I clear? Now, your focus should be current events, the Rafale deal judgment. If I'm talking about 2020 CLAT, I don't know the important judgments that are going to come up recently by the Supreme Court. The Muslim Personal Law Act, whereby triple talaq has been banned. You must have a good understanding of the various important enactments, important national and international judgments of the Supreme Court of India, House of important judgments of the International Court of Justice. For example, Kulbhushan Singh Yadav's judgment, the Kulbhushan Yadav's judgment of the ICJ is very important. You might get a passage from there. So your understanding, your legal reasoning is based on current events, factual situation based on legal principles. That is it. Your problem solving ability is to be tested. Your problem solving ability is to be tested in this particular entrance examination. Now, what are the kinds of questions that you might get? You might get questions relating to identifying and inferring certain principles and rules in the passage. You might get a passage and say, and the question can be, what rule do you infer from the above mentioned passage? There can be 4 rules. You have to tick the correct one. You can also get questions relating to applying the principle given in the passage and apply them in different factual situations. Applying the principles of the passage in different factual situations. Very important. Thirdly, understanding how a change in the principle will change your answer. A change in the principle. The passage talks about a particular principle. Now the question says, if the principle is changed to this, what will be your answer? Did you understand? So understanding the principle in the passage is the most important thing. What does the passage talks about? That is the most important thing. Secondly, how do you apply those principles in different factual situations. Thirdly, the questions can be, if the principles are changed or amended, what will be the resultant answer to that question? Am I clear, friends? So first and foremost, the most important thing for all of you would be to identify and infer principles. Now, what are the skills that are required? What are the skills that are required? The one and the only skill that I would suggest to you, friends, is good reading skill. If you have good reading skill, good understanding ability of a passage, that solves 80% of your problem. Read any book. Pick up any book from the library. Pick up any article on the newspaper. Pick up any article from any online source and read. Understand. The China and America trade deal. What is happening in Hong Kong? What is happening in Hong Kong insofar as China's rule is concerned? What is happening in Iran? What is happening in the Middle East? What is happening in India? Pick up any article. Pick up any article. Read. It can read. I have already told you. You might get questions relating to the Sabrimala judgment. Women between 10 to 50 are not allowed inside a particular temple. The Supreme Court has referred that question to a larger bench. So you might get questions. The Kashmir issue, the triple talaq judgment, the Ayodhya land dispute judgment. Now these are important legal issues. So you might get questions. So the first and foremost, the most important skills that is required is number one, good reading skill. And how do you develop on this good reading skill? You can develop good reading skill by reading newspapers. Now, if you ask me, sir, which newspaper? Now, I would always tell you, go through the Hindu. Hindu is the best. No doubt, Hindu is the best. But I understand when people say, sir, I don't have time. But even if you don't have time to go through the entire Hindu newspaper, but you can definitely read the editorials. I'm not saying ki from cover to cover read Hindu, but at least the editorials, they are very important. They are well crafted, well researched. Your knowledge of a particular topic will increase. Hindu is a very good newspaper, number one. If you say that, sir, I have English, I have to read maths, I have to read history, I have to read geography, I understand. If not Hindu, then what? If not Hindu, I would strongly recommend Indian Express as well as the Economic Times. Indian Express and the Economic Times. Because these are the good newspapers that you can read and develop your reading skills. Read articles on any current legal issue. Read any article on current legal issue. For example, so that you get to you are familiar with the names. For example, you might get a passage on the Constitution of India, appointment of judges in the Supreme Court, and they might ask you, who was the first Chief Justice of India? Is it not testing on your legal knowledge? Yes, it is. So it is important for you to know, have a analyzing skills as well as have a good knowledge also in a particular subject. So read articles which are static, which are current legal issues, anything will do, but read, read and read. You should also read articles on important judgments, latest laws that are enacted by the parliament, and latest amendments. The various laws that the parliament come up with every year. Every year, the parliament makes many laws. Pick up the important laws and read them. Understand what does the parliament want. Am I clear? Another important skill that you require is to improve your legal vocabulary. Now, what do you mean by legal vocabulary? You must know certain Latin terms, some Latin maxims, some legal jargons, certain foreign phrases. For example, what do you mean by a writ? There are 5 types of writ. Habeas corpus. What does the word habeas corpus mean? A person who knows half the body, he is going to get 1 out of 1. A person who does not know, he is going to get 0 out of 1. So, you have to have that skill of understanding certain foreign phrases, some foreign maxims, legal maxims that we call. Am I clear? You need to, the more you read, for example, what is the meaning of void ab initio? You might get a legal maxim, nemo judex in causa sua. Who knows? What does it mean? It means no one can be a judge in his own cause. There is another important legal maxim called audi alter partem. Audi alter partem. It means hear the other side. Listen to both the sides. Only then give a judgment. So, understanding these foreign phrases or these legal jargons or these legal maxims, whatever you call it, the only way is to read, understand and analyze. Very, very, very important. Have I made myself clear? So more and more you read, the better it is for you guys. Now, if you say, what is legal reasoning? My simple answer to your question is, legal reasoning is a method. It's a method. It's a technique of thought and argument which is used by lawyers and judges while they are applying certain legal principles, certain legal rules in a particular factual situation, thereby coming to a conclusion. So what do lawyers do? What do judges do? They have laws. They apply those laws in a particular factual situation and thereby come to a conclusion. And that is what is expected out of you in CLAT. What is expected out of you in CLAT is, there is certain principles, certain laws that are given in the passage, read those laws, apply those laws in a factual situation, apply them in a factual situation, and come to a conclusion. Am I clear? So that is all that you are required. And to help you in this, preparation for your CLAT 2021, I am delighted, or rather we at Gradeup is delighted to bring up a very important or a comprehensive course for CLAT 2021, a year-long program. This program, a comprehensive course for CLAT 2021 students, has been brought by Gradeup. It's a 1-year-long program which will give you an understanding of how to prepare and score great marks in your entrance examination. Now remember that this is a very, very important examination, and believe me, perhaps this is one of the most difficult +2 entrance examination. Of course, IIT is different. It's in engineering. You cannot compare everything. Law is different. This is social sciences. That is engineering. There is medical. I'm not saying that this is the most, but these are the most important, like medical entrance examination, CLAT, IIT entrance examination, JEE entrance exam. These are the most sought after. Now, the most important thing is not to get into any law school. The important thing is to get into the top 6 or top 7 law schools of the country. And to help you prepare, we have brought from Gradeup a comprehensive course which will provide 330 plus live classes, more than 7,000 practice questions, mock tests, topic-wise quizzes, PDFs for revision, full coverage of your current affairs and legal knowledge. So do not forget, download the Gradeup application right now and start with the free trial. We are providing free classes. Do not say no to those free classes that we are providing, because these are classes which are taught by faculties like Shantanu Jha, Savitri Krishnamurthy, Naveen Iyer, Ankit Sharma, Pranav Pant, and myself, Surajit Bhaduri. So, we all have designed this course in a manner keeping 2021 as a target. These course will be taught by the faculties, and most of you have met your faculties virtually, might not be physically, right? You guys know these faculties. So I expect all of you to join the Gradeup application, go through the classes that we are scheduling for you, friends, and please read. My only advice to students for CLAT 2021 is read, and read. Concentrate, improve your English. Improve your English, because English is the most important language as on today in India. You might like Hindi, you might like Marathi, you might like Punjabi, you might like Tamil, you might like Odia, you might like Bengali. But the fact is this entrance examination is only conducted in English. So your way ahead is good grasp of this particular language. You should have a fantastic grasp on this particular language. If you are good in English, believe me, 60 to 70% of your problem is solved. But if you are not good in English, I'm sorry, you have to develop. So we at Gradeup will try our level best to make you develop on the skills that are crucially required for this particular entrance examination. So with this, friends, with this, we come to the end of today's class. With this, we come to the end of today's class. I hope you guys are right now in a position where you have understood what is legal reasoning, the concept of legal reasoning, and what are the skills that are important for you to ace this particular entrance examination. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. God bless you. Do like this video. Do share this video with your friends who are also preparing for CLAT 2021. And definitely those who have not subscribed to our channel, do subscribe to our channel and do not forget to press the bell icon so that you get all notifications for the live classes that we are conducting. Okay, thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. Stay home, stay safe, stay healthy. Stay home, stay safe, stay healthy. God bless you, and I wish you all the very best for your preparation for CLAT 2021. Thank you, and God bless you.